Marvel's Thunderbolts is seemingly having some issues with multiple actors reportedly dropping out of the project, but nevertheless, the project is slated to release May 2nd, 2025. Marvel's Thunderbolts burst onto the scene as saviors in the wake of a world without its major superheroes, only to shockingly reveal their true identities as former villains led by Baron Zemo. Deception, redemption, and the constant struggle between heroism and villainy became the team's hallmark. Over the years, the Thunderbolts underwent numerous lineup changes and evolutions, exploring the themes of redemption and government-sanctioned control. From their deceptive beginnings to the internal conflicts faced by members seeking true heroism, Thunderbolts' complex journey within the Marvel Universe is a captivating tale of morality, loyalty, and the blurred lines between good and evil. There's some problems with the current proposed MCU Thunderbolts lineup in my opinion. To begin, we have 4 of the members originating from the Black Widow movie. Besides it being one of my least favorite MCU entries, it is also just too many characters from one movie to be included, which is why I'm taking out Red Guardian and Taskmaster. Additionally, the inclusion of Bucky just doesn't really make sense. We've gone through a whole character arc with Bucky where working with these villains won't make sense for who he is. He's likely only there to be a watchful eye, which I think we can replace without sacrificing too much. My proposed lineup will address these issues while ensuring that the Thunderbolts isn't just a team of similarly powered super soldiers. Now onto my lineup, starting with my holdovers from the current MCU lineup. The field leader of the team, Yelena Belova. She's a true and natural leader of the team with her well-rounded abilities as a spy and fighter, as well as her ability to maintain a level head in the most dire of situations. She's someone who can build back the family she lost, while also keeping a suspicious eye on Val after the events of Hawkeye. On the other hand, we have the wannabe leader of the team in John Walker, aka US Agent. He's a loose cannon and US loyalist, which makes him a great asset for Valentina because it will allow him to be easily controlled. Ghost is the last of our holdovers from the current roster, and she will be the heart of our movie. She is searching for family and connection, plus her phasing abilities will separate her from Yelena and John Walker, while she will also be able to form a strong connection with another member of the team I will talk about in just a bit. With the holdovers now over, let's talk about the new additions to the team. Firstly, we have Moonstone, a character who would be new to the MCU. Her introduction would add intrigue to a team that is full of rehashings from other MCU projects, and additionally she has unique abilities that would make her an asset while still holding on to the ability to phase, which would make her pairing with Ghost so important. She could be a good mentor to Ghost as she learns to embrace her powers and be proud of who she is. Next, we have Luke Cage. This would allow us to tie in more of Marvel's Netflix shows into the MCU, and Cage would add the strength that we lost in Red Guardian without adding in the unhinged nature like we have in Walker. This team will also need a strategic leader to help them plan out their missions, which is where we bring in Zemo. He's a brilliant mind and strategist, and he will also not hesitate to take out a metahuman if they step out of line. He will kind of be like Batman, where we have a contingency plan for every member of the team in the event that they start to rebel. I assume Bucky would have served as the oversight role, so why not make it make a little bit more sense by adding Zemo in instead? Outside of that, General Ross will be in this movie, likely as President Ross as he will be becoming Captain America, and Val will serve the more typical Ross role, since it'll be hard to switch it up with all that Marvel has already shown and set up. Lastly, the rumored villain is Sentry, so we're going to stick with that for our pitch. We open on a government facility. Scientists are working tirelessly, guarded by soldiers that represent no military branch. This is clearly an off-the-book site. We get a close-up of a serum being created, a mixture of Hulk's gamma radiation blood and the super soldier serum. A syringe of the serum is taken over to a man's arm and injected into him. He screams before passing out. The whole room is silent when whoosh, the electricity cuts out. The whole room is pitch black, and then the man's eyes open. They now glow a bright gold. He breaks out of his restraints, and the scientists scramble to trigger their alarm, but the power is still out. The scientist begins to yell for help, and soldiers rush into the room, still only illuminated by the glow of the man's eyes. Without hesitation, the soldiers begin to shoot, and the man shields his face. When the soldiers stop shooting, the man uncovers himself, and his eyes are no longer gold, but red. He attacks them, and all we see are muzzle flashes and hear screams as the man tears through the entire facility. After finishing off the last person, he flies out of the roof of the facility and off to an unknown location. The lights come on, and the room is littered with bodies and blood. Title card, The Thunderbolts. We come back to a close-up of Boots walking around a bloodied floor. It is US Agent walking around the formerly operational black site. The black and red shield in his hand as Walker surveys the destruction of the site. He reports back to Val. There's nobody here. Cut to Val in front of a computer. Damn it, Walker, find me something I can use. She turns to face President Ross. This is not good, and if this gets out, you're screwed, and I'm gonna need a team to fix this. What are you suggesting? I cannot give you control of the Avengers. Last time I tried to control them, it ended with a destroyed airport, and the one Avenger that actually listened to the government ended up paralyzed. No, not the Avengers. I need something better. Some people more desperate. A helicopter lands on the raft, Valentina steps off the plane, and Yelena emerges from behind her. So you're gonna lead a team of some impressionable individuals. We'll pay you well, and perhaps you can even end up beloved like that precious sister of yours. They walk down the halls of the Raft, passing villains of other MCU projects, until they enter a room where 3 people stand. Meet the team! This is Ava Starr, aka Ghost, Carla Sofin, aka Moonstone, and Helmut Zemo. They'll be joining your team. Team, meet Yelena. Great! Introduction's over. Let's go. The team departs, but Zemo and Val have a conversation behind the rest of them. Why should I help you? Especially with those metahuman. They're disgusting creatures. Up, not so fast, Zemo. Have some respect for your teammates. Plus, if someone gets a little adventurous with this freedom, I know you won't hesitate to, let's say, make sure they don't become a problem. So stop crying and get to work. Maybe I'll even throw you a bone and get you out of here. Now back at another secret facility, Val explains the reality of the situation. The US government has a interest in their test subject. President Ross has given us the authority to bring back this subject at all costs, but we need him alive. Be aware, he is extremely powerful, so do not underestimate him. US agent tries to cut in, but Val, shh. Yelena now begins to instruct the team, visibly making Walker angry. She talks over the video footage of Sentry's escape from the facility. We don't know much about this man, but we do know this. He took out a whole regiment of men in 1 minute. That was after he was shot several times. He can also fly, so that's where Dr. Blondie will help us. The debrief ends and we get a few shots of the team training alone. Unless explicitly called for, they barely interact. An alarm goes off, signaling to the team that it's time to take some action. Zemo briefs them. We've tracked the test subject to another government black site. He seems to have been destroying every foreign US testing facility he can find. This is the last one of his targets until we assume he goes for those in charge. We have to subdue him and bring him in without incident. Nobody can know. I've created this formula that should shut him down long enough to transport him back from the site to here. Work together, disorient him, and we will be fine. The team sets off to the facility, with Zemo staying back in the helicopter to monitor via earpiece. The team enters the site stealthily. Wires are hanging down, lights are flickering, and bodies are scattered. They spot Sentry destroying vials of serum. They move in to catch him by surprise, when Walker attacks him without warning the rest of them. Sentry turns around and hits Walker, dispatching him with one punch. The rest of the team tries to catch up, but the fight is no use. The team bumps into one another, making Sentry's job that much easier, and at one point, Moonstone and Ghost take each other out. Sentry flies off and escapes, and the team is left battered, bruised, and arguing. Back at the base, Val berates them. He was right there. You could not make me look like a fool. Fix this and fix it fast, because if you let Sentry kill the president, we're all going down. She leaves, and we get moments of the team not only training together, but also spending more purposeful time together to connect and become familiar with one another. Intermixed are moments of dialogue and connection, specifically focusing on the ones between Ghost and Moonstar. Moonstar takes a guiding mentorship-like role with Ghost, teaching her to harness her powers. These are a gift, not a curse. We must learn to be proud of who we are and what they make us. We are here to support you now, and we support you for who you are. No expectations to be whoever you were before the accident. This is you now. Embrace it. The closing shot is them eating a family-style dinner together, seemingly fully coming together as a team, but amongst all of this, Walker never seems fully invested. Cut to the next day, the team assembles again. They have a second shot at this, and Sentry is rapidly making his way towards DC. He's looking for President Ross. Team springs into action and intercepts Sentry at the National Mall. A fight ensues. Sentry is still able to hold them off, but the team is faring considerably better than before. He goes to make a killing blow on Ghost, but hesitates. There is a moment where we see his inner turmoil. He is fighting against something inside of him, and Ghost recognizes that turmoil as the same one that was once inside her. She talks with her team. I don't think he's trying to cause chaos. He's trying to save others, so the government doesn't do the same thing that they did to him to others. To them. We have to help. The team hesitates, but they trust Ghost. They follow her lead and they battle triumphantly. They defeat Sentry, but by talking him down amongst the fighting. As he lands, the team doesn't attack, but embraces him, but not Walker. After a beat, Walker runs in and tries to strike Sentry. The mission has to be finished. We cannot go against Val's orders, but Ghost intervenes, phasing over to protect Sentry, but she takes the killing blow in the process. In the chaos, the team scatters. Some help Ghost, others fight Walker. There's more fighting, but this time he is the main villain. The fight is led by Moonstone, who is trying to avenge the woman she had grown so close to. She strikes down Walker, ending the final climax. Ghost lays dying with Moonstar and now Sentry by her side. She smiles at them both, a thankful glow in her eyes as she passes away. An emotional beat as the group mourns their fallen member. Sentry flies away, trying to hide the evil inside of him as a way to protect the rest of society. Reporting back to Val, the team recalls the story, omitting the mention of what happened to Sentry. To the government, Sentry is now dead and his body gone. Closing scene, the Thunderbolts hold a funeral for Ghost. The team mourns her before they head their separate ways, some staying with another member and some going off alone. End of movie. Post-credit scene number 1. President Ross, frustrated, mutters to himself, "The world needs more than what I can give them." A vial of Hulk's radiation glows on a table beside him. He He grabs it in a syringe, and it cuts to black. Post-credit scene 2. The camera zooms in on a figure in a mountainous scene. The man, unaware of his surroundings, mutters to himself, "I must remember I am Bob Reynolds, just Bob." Suddenly, a mysterious voice echoes in his mind. "Bob, the world needs you. Your power is unmatched, and only you can make a difference." Sentry winces in pain as images flash before his eyes. Images of cosmic battles, celestial beings, and power beyond comprehension. Credits roll. So that is my pitch for Thunderbolts. I think this story builds up the emotion and family aspect of the team, which will help audiences connect to characters that they were previously taught to despise. I think the ending leaves it open for other spin-offs or sequels, while still being a kind of formal conclusion in the event that that never happens. Anyways, let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.